Another question I received in social media is I don't really excel in academia except in one area, art. Well, in all probability, this individual who's asked that question has a very high value in art. And everybody has a hierarchy of values, a set of priorities that they live their life by. And in the area that's highest on their value, that's where we excel academically. That's where we excel in learning. We all want to learn what's important to us, not what's important to other people. So if we're in school and we're having to learn something that we don't see connected to what's invaluable to us, we tend to not do well in it. But the second we get to the topic that's valuable to us, we'll absorb it. We'll absorb it, we'll retain it, and we'll apply it. So if you want to learn and make your academics a lot easier, go and ask this question. It's one of the greatest questions I've learned about learning. And that is, ask, how specifically is what I have in this class, this book, this topic or subtopic, how specific is it helping me fulfill what's most important to me in my life? So I love researching about human behavior and the evolution of human consciousness and how to master life and how to maximize human awareness and potential. And so I've been doing that for 51 years. And and so if I take any topic, it does not matter what topic I'm taking, geology, astrophysics, cosmology, I just wrote a textbook on neurology, anthropology, quantum physics. I don't care what it is. Any field that I take and I ask, how specifically is studying this field going to help me in the areas that I want to study, the evolution of human consciousness? If I answer that question 25 times, 30 times, which may take me 20, 30 minutes, if I answer that question and really make a link in my brain, I guarantee I will absorb that information, retain that information, apply that information, and I can excel in that pursuit once I see it's helping me get what I want. If you take the time to link whatever you want to study to whatever is most meaningful to you, most inspiring to you, what's highest on your value, you will excel and make it easier in school. I've been teaching that for years, and I've seen that change a lot of people. I've seen people that had struggles in school all of a sudden excel in school simply by making sure that whenever they took a class, they kept the links between that topic. And even if they're going through various topics through the semester or term, if they go and keep asking, how's doing this going to help me fulfill what's meaningful? Once they see it, they excel. I had a young boy that was trying to go and climb Mount Everest. He was 16 years old. He was at St. Stithian School in South Africa, in Johannesburg area. And he wanted to go climb Mount Everest. But his schoolmaster contacted me and said, will you talk to this young man? He's wanting to stop school and go off and climb. So I asked him a question. I hear you're going to go. I went to the 16-year-old boy. I said, I heard you're going to go climb Mount Everest. That's amazing. I've been up to the base camp kind of area, but I haven't been all the way to the top. It's amazing. And he goes, yeah, I'm going to go climb Mount Everest. And I said, great. I said, just out of curiosity, how many people on your team? He said, what do you mean team? I said, well, how many Sherpas you got carrying stuff for you? He goes, I don't. I said, you don't have a Sherpa team to carry the things all the way up there, to carry all your supplies? No. Oh, you might think about that because most people who go up there have Sherpas and people that help them. He said, oh, I haven't thought about that. I said, and by the way, do you know Nepalese or do you know Tibetan language? And he goes, no. So you're going to go up there without a team and not know the language of the people? He goes, yeah. I said, oh, that would seem kind of risky if you don't have anybody to communicate with people. Did you have a language teacher in your school? And he goes, yeah. I said, could you get them to work for you and help you develop that language and assist you in making sure you're prepared language wise when you're up there? He said, you think that's necessary? I said, I don't know. If you don't have a team, you don't know how to talk to people, and if you get into a problem, you have no way of communicating with people. That's a little risky, don't you think? He said, I didn't think about it. And your chemistry, have you gone and checked your O2 concentration, partial pressures of that in your blood at different altitudes and know what your stamina is and how much time it takes to acclimatize? He goes, no. Are you in school here with chemistry? Do you have chemistry class? Yes. Could you get your chemistry teacher working on that and help you get to Mount Everest? I mean, might as well build a team here and practice learning how to manage a team here and helping you go there, because you're going to need a team there to help you, and you're going to need equipment to make sure you're going where you're going and make sure you're capable of doing it, prepared for it. And it says, in addition to that, have you studied the physics of the altitude and the direction and how fast to move and how much energy you're going to be burning off? Have you done a little math on that to know the speed in which you're going to do it and how many days you're going to do it and how many supplies you're going to take? He goes, well, I've studied some of that, but I don't know if I know all that. I said, well, if you know the angle of ascent and the path that you're going to take on the ascent, he says, I've looked at the path. I said, you know how that is and how many people are on that path at that time of year and how many delays you might have going to the next step and how much oxygen that you'll need at the time and how much fuel you'll need in order to use the muscles? He goes, no. I said, if you need to have your chemistry person there, I'd be having that. I'd get your sociology person to help you and understand the culture. Anyway, I sat with him and I kept linking the classes of what he was taking to his climb, and he decided that he was going to wait one more year and use all his classes to make sure he was more prepared so he had a success. I said, if you go up there and you don't succeed, you're going to beat yourself up. You're going to drop out of school. But if you go there and you use your team to get there and you succeed and you graduate, you get two birds in one stone. And so I talked him into staying in school and using his school to get him what he wants. I asked him questions that showed the link between the classes he was taking and his objective. And he got engaged. He got his team working for him. He got the teachers helping him, and it made a difference. And the schoolmaster knew that I could do that, and that's why he asked me to chat with him, to converse with him, to help him make those accomplishments. So take the time to link whatever you want to study to whatever it is that's really truly meaningful. If it's art, ask how is studying physics or chemistry or sociology or whatever you're studying, language or whatever, how's it going to help on that? And if you make the links, you'll absorb that. If not, then fine. Go and target all your energy on the field you want to do and pursue that and master the field. Either way is fine. I'm not attached to that, but don't sit and struggle in the situation and beat yourself up when you can make the links and excel. Because if you can see it, because your mind automatically opens up and wants to learn whatever is most important in your life. If you can see the links, it opens up to it and you absorb the information. Otherwise, your pulmonary nucleus in your thalamus filters it out and gates it out because it seems superfluous. I don't need that. I don't want that. And so you don't want to learn it. It doesn't go in. You get short-term memory at best, and you don't stick with you. Link it to your highest values and you'll absorb the information and you won't have a difficulty in academics, or prioritize what you're studying and keep it to the area of your expertise and excel in it that way. But just know the more breadth of information you have, the broader and understand, the probably more creative and laterally you're going to be able to be in creativity in the field of art. So just taking a moment to share with you that idea, and just know that that academic is not an obstacle. It could be an opportunity.